Here are the cards that I keep in my wallet since moving to the suburbs. First wallet I keep my cards in is the Shinola Wallet, and this wallet when I was living in DC was my main wallet, but now I've actually been using it as a car wallet, still looking for a good wallet that can carry more cards. But since moving to the suburbs, I've been driving everywhere, and now I have the ability to only take the cards that I need in with me, while leaving the credit cards that I could need in the car. So I don't need to carry many credit cards physically on me, because when going to a store in the suburbs, I know what store I'm going into and I know what the purchase will code as. So before I go into a store, I switch out the credit card I need. Unless I'm going into a mall, then I'll just take in this wallet. Other than that, nothing has changed about this wallet. There is room for 2 cards in the front, 2 in the back, and then 1 in here, and then 1 in there. My second wallet, the Apple Wallet, you can take the cards out like this, and there are 3 cards in here. But we'll go over the Shinola Wallet first. First card I have in this wallet is my trusty American Express Gold card. Since moving to the suburbs, it has been more of a pain to use the credits on this card. However, most of the spending you're going to do out here in the suburbs is going to be groceries and dining, because that's basically all there is to really do out here. And the reason I use my Amex Gold card for dining and groceries is because I get 4% back, with each point being valued at 2 cents per point. Thereby I'm basically getting 8% back on my groceries and dining spend. And I know last quarter I didn't use this card because I was using the Curve card, which is still in my wallet, but I've had so many problems with the Curve card recently. Just getting denied for no reason. And it causes a problem where people think either I don't have money on the card, or it's just annoying they have to ask for another card. Either way, people out here in the suburbs are way more judgy. And besides, I can carry more cards now, so I don't really need an all-in-one card if it doesn't work properly. So for dining, I definitely use this card. And for groceries, it's also definitely my go-to card, because it gets 8% back in value, which is one of my highest value cash back at grocery stores from my whole credit card collection. Then the next card I have is the Whole Foods or Amazon card. They're the same card, just different designs. I decided to go with the Whole Foods design because it looked way more unique, and I really like the green on it. This card gives me a decent percentage back when I use it at Whole Foods, but it only gives me 5% back at Whole Foods, which I said earlier the Amex Gold card gets me 8% back. So I don't actually use the Whole Foods card too much in person. That's why you usually almost never see it in my wallet, because the only good it does is get me 5% back on Amazon purchases, which are all done online, and the other categories this card has is getting 2% back at restaurants, gas stations, and drugstores, which doesn't compete with some of the other credit cards I usually carry in my wallets. But the one reason I'm carrying this physically on me this quarter is because you may have seen a lot of Chase cards this quarter are giving 10% back on gas. Definitely a strong cash back for gas, so I've been putting all of my gas spend on this card. And then the next card I have is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Now this is a good catch-all credit card because it gets you 1.5% back on everything, valued at 3% back because the points are worth 2 cents per point, which is very useful for non-category spend. But not only that, this card not only gives you good cash back for non-category spend, if for some reason a place doesn't take my American Express Gold card, then I can use this card and still get a decent 3% back on dining, valued as 6% back. Also, how I was saying before, the Whole Foods card doesn't give the best cash back on drugstore purchases, with only 2% back. With the Freedom Unlimited, it's 3% back, valued like I said earlier at 2 cents per point, so technically 6% back. A way better card if you're gonna use it at drugstores. So this is a pretty decent card to always keep on you whenever. Next card I have is the Curve card, and I've had this last quarter because I was only carrying the Apple Wallet last quarter, so this helped me reduce the cards that I needed to carry, because the Curve card acts as an all-in-one card, so you can have access to a bunch of different debit cards, and at the moment any MasterCard, soon to include Visa cards. So that means I had access to the Saver One card, the Quicksilver card, and the Freedom Flex, all with this card. But like I complained about earlier, the problem with this card is that it's been recently getting denied at a lot of places, so it's not reliable anymore. However, it's still nice if I do use this card and it does successfully go through, like using the Curve card to charge the Quicksilver card, where it gets me 1.5% back, it would actually get me 2.5% back. Because with the Curve card welcome bonus, it gives an extra 1% on top of any card you're planning on using. So the Curve card is still pretty useful. And then in the middle pocket, I'm sure you're already tired and sick of seeing this card, but it is really the best card if you need any money anytime fast at any ATMs. The Schwab Debit Card. You don't have to worry what bank you're at, or the fees, because with this card you can get money from any ATM you want, even internationally. However, after moving to the suburbs, I haven't had the chance to use it too often, because in the suburbs you have to drive everywhere, and there's not too many ATMs just lying around. Maybe in the mall, but not too many in the stores or nearby. So I haven't really needed to use this card too much after moving, but I still keep it on me just in case, because I've had to use it once when moving to Kentucky. When I was applying for an out-of-state transfer driver's license at the DMV, for some reason all the credit card machines were down, so they were taking appointments cards only if you were bringing cash. I didn't want to come back, so I went to the closest ATM, which happened to be at a gas station, got the cash, and I was able to get my DMV appointment and get my driver's license. So good to have it on you. Last card in this wallet is my Costco membership card. And I know there's an app and most of the time I do use it, but I have to keep this card on me because if I want to use Costco's gas stations, there's no other way but to have the physical membership card. And I've been using it paired with the Whole Foods card, which gets me 10% back this quarter, along with 2% back anything at Costco with the executive membership. So 12% cash back on gas. I got the Costco executive membership card because if you're able to spend $250 per month, you're breaking even on the Costco membership compared to if you're buying the lower version of the Costco card. But you end up spending any more than that, technically you've been earning more back than what you would have paid for the cheaper membership. So if you're able to spend more than $250 a month, upgrading to the Costco executive membership is totally worth it. Now for my Apple Wallet. Why I've been keeping this on me is because when going into a store, I know what I'm getting and I know what the purchase will code as. It's not going to be a surprise like when I was walking around in DC, and that's the only wallet I would have had for the whole day. But now since I can drive everywhere, there's no real reason to carry a bunch of cards physically on me. It makes my pockets less bulky and able to be attached to the back of my phone. So the cards that I've been keeping in this wallet, first is the Bilt Card. And I know I have a personally tricky relationship with Bilt because of what they did to me, but they are the only credit card that gives you points back on rent without any fees. And some of the benefits they provide are very valuable. Like for example, during the Thanksgiving Black Friday week, they were doubling categories for the entire week. And recently they've been offering 2 times points on the first of every month. So I've been really trying to maximize that. Especially it's nice that I've been able to maximize it even further by using the Curve card, giving me an extra 1% back. So they have been offering 6 times points on dining, which I value at 2 cents per point, technically 12% back on dining, 4 times back on travel or 8% back on travel, and 2 times back on everything else, or 4 times back on everything else. Sucks though, I haven't been able to use the travel category too much after moving to the suburbs. However, everything else in dining, I've been trying to put as much as I can on the Bilt Card when the double points day comes, especially trying to reach the minimum of 5 transactions a month to earn points on rent. Then the next card I have is sort of a secret card. I am bound by the terms and conditions of the private beta to not mention this card by name, so I can't tell you too much about it, but this card allows me to put all my Visa and MasterCard cards on it, like the Curve card, so all these cards are technically obsolete. But like I said, this card is still in a private beta, so it may not be stable. Also, it runs on an automated system, so either you can manually make sure the card you want to charge goes onto this card, or you'll always have to keep track of it because unlike the Curve card, there is no go back in time feature. So after the transaction has gone through, that's basically the final destination. But it has been pretty useful if you don't want to carry too many cards physically on you. But yeah, I keep this in my Apple Wallet in case I get the wrong card from my car, and I want to make sure I can charge the correct card even without having it. Basically a backup credit card. Recently they've let go of Amex to properly repair some problems, so that sort of sucks, but they've also recently added extra offers, so I've been able to get even extra cash back at particular stores. Then of course the last card I have in my wallets is my driver's license, and as you can see, it is the Kentucky's driver's license. And of course I need to keep this on me if I want alcohol, but it sucks they haven't included an Apple Wallet yet, which according to news sources they should be doing that soon. So hopefully you won't ever see this in my wallet again. But yeah, those were the cards I have in my wallet this quarter. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.